This is a video presentation deconstructing why Blade Runner 1982 is a postmodern film. Postmodernism is a complex theory and can be hard to articulate. However, this short explanation found on mediastudies.com gives us a good summary. Postmodernism is a theory which argues other theories and critical perspectives are incapable of explaining our experiences because the world is too fragmented and unfinished to be defined. Postmodernists reject the concept of absolute truth. Therefore, religion and political systems are just futile attempts to understand the chaos. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner depicts a future that has reached postmodernity, a fragmented, chaotic and dystopian world, set in Lower Los Angeles 2019. The film clearly mixes different time periods. The high-rise buildings which house the major corporations share characteristics of contemporary skyscrapers but have an overall look of ancient temples. You have the fusion of high and low culture, prominent neon signs and excessive advertisement, both fictional and non-fictional. The street-level society is a mixture of cultures and ethnicities. The street talk is a combination of multiple languages. These architectural and linguistic confusions add to the erratic sense of time. It tells us we are in the future, yet also feels very much in the past. Everyone seems in some way trapped. The replicants are trapped within their short lifespans as artificial slaves.
I want more life, Father.
Deckard is trapped both on Earth and by an unwanted return as a Blade Runner.
He say you Blade Runner.
The rest of the population are trapped on Earth and cannot leave for the off-world colonies due to reasons such as failed medicals and so on. The theme of being trapped is common within the film noir genre, which is very present in Blade Runner. The voiceover/narration,
I didn't really need a translator. I knew the lingo every good cop did.
which relates to the plot, gives the film a film noir tone. Noir films are also known as films of death, which is one of the main themes in Blade Runner. Other main codes and conventions included in this film are things such as a private detective, in this case Rick Deckard, likeable killers, both in the replicants and Deckard, complex morality. You see Deckard struggle with his morals having met Rachel, Roy ends up saving Deckard, and vitally the presence of crime, the replicants slaughtering many to get back to Earth in search of more life. Another genre prominent in the film is sci-fi, evident in the use of advanced technologies and mention of off-world, the use of otherworldly characters and dystopian settings. You could argue cyberpunk and neo-noir are other genres evident in the film. Postmodernism rejects grand narratives. By blending multiple genres, it undermines the idea that there is a single definitive way to tell a story. Instead, it embraces a fragmented and diverse approach. Blade Runner also pays homage to multiple films like Metropolis, Citizen Kane, and Alien. This is obvious in Contextuality. Blade Runner is often associated with hyperreality, a concept that is entrenched in postmodern theory and is extensively discussed by Jean Baudrillard. Hyperreality refers to a state where the distinction between reality and simulation become blurred, often to the point in which reality and simulation become indistinguishable. Baudrillard wrote, "What happens on the other side of the truth? Not in what would be false, but in what is more true than the truth, more real than the real." Now, from reading this and relating it to Blade Runner, I believe it to perfectly sum up the blurred lines of simulated humans, replicants, and humans themselves, and the central theme of the film, the nature of identity. Replicants are designed to be almost identical to humans, leading to the big question, what does it truly mean to be human? We see multiple characters grappling with the uncertainty of their own identities. There are blurred moral boundaries. This is intentionally done. This adds to the hyperreality, as traditional perception of good and evil become more ambiguous. Deckard is a ruthless, cold-hearted killer, right? He is a Blade Runner. However, as you see, he has been forced to return to the job. He has no choice in the matter.
Stop right where you are.
Although he doesn't seem to have an issue of killing replicants. However, his perceived opinion on replicants changes when he spends more time with Rachel. You see him questioning his morality when he tells Rachel she is a replicant and quickly tells her he made a bad joke.
Bad joke.
He eventually falls in love with Rachel and they proceed to drive off into the sunset together. This is the same for Roy and the other replicants in the film. Are they truly evil? Yes, they have done questionable things and we learn they have hurt people, But can we argue this is down to emotional immaturity and a desperate want to live? All these questions are open to interpretation, and everyone will read into this differently. It is all relative. Baudrillard has written about the seductive female mode, which is artificial and symbolic, involves flirtations, double entendres, sly looks, whispered promises, but a putting off of the actual sexual act. It involves the manipulation of signals like makeup, fashion and gestures to achieve control over a symbolic order. Now, not everything pre-mentioned is included, but I believe this relates to the relationship between replicant Pris and Sebastian. Pris can be seen manipulating Sebastian and gaining his trust for Roy to eventually gain access to Tyrell. Pris is vital in this event happening, and she uses this seductive female mode to make it happen. Roy is central to many pivotal scenes in Blade Runner. One that stands out to me the most is the scene in which he accepts his fate.
Time to die.
During said scene, Roy can be seen holding a dove, which to many symbolises peace, freedom and love. Roland Barthes argues that when a sign is consistently used, it can become a myth. A myth is a widely accepted meaning of a sign. This stage in the film, some viewers like me will have grown sympathetic to Roy and the other replicants and see that they have obtained things such as empathy in their short time fighting for more life. And we ask, do they deserve to die?
We lost in time. Like tears.